And again, feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Again, Christine, everyone can jump in. I don't have any issues
I'm
with.
not shy. Yeah.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Exactly. And Ted, you too. Jump in if you have any questions. Um, so the first thing I want to share with you all is that Padlet, the link to Padlet can be found directly on your Blackboard page. That's the most important thing that you can learn today is that you can always, if you forget how to get to Padlet, you can always find it right here on the top right-hand side of the Blackboard, um, on the Blackboard homepage. On the menu on the top right, you'll see here it says Padlet. And so if you click on this right here, this link, it will open up to the FIT Padlet. And you'll notice on the address bar it says fitonline.padlet.org. If it says padlet.org, then you know you're in the wrong place. Make sure it says FIT online. That's the most common mistake is that faculty will go to padlet.org or padlet.com. And that if you go there, you will have a free account. And you don't want to use a free account. You want to use our pro account. The school has paid for Padlet, and so you have unlimited use of Padlet. But the only way you can get the unlimited or the pro account is you have to go to fitonline.padlet.org, or just click on the link on the top right corner that says Padlet, and that will take you to the right place.
So
That's super.
Jose,
Uh-huh.
I put in Christine_Pomerantz at fitnyc.edu and it says user not found.
Oh, when you were creating your account?
Padlet, yeah.
Oh, I can check real quick. Let me see. Let me see if
Ted, did you
no,
try it?
Sure. I know Ted has an account because I know Ted. I know I gave you an
I
account.
see.
Let me check Christine real quick
Okay.
just to make sure that you.
Jose,
Uh-huh.
Jose, could you just double check to make sure I still have an account because I'm a little concerned about that. If you
Sure.
could just double check.
Oh yeah.
I think.
I'll check for the both of you. I'll make sure you both have teacher accounts.
You know what? I'll log in with Google. I think if I log in with Google, it'll work.
Yeah, but make sure it's your FIT email.
Yeah.
It should work, right?
So if I log in with Google, it works, but it doesn't work if I put my username.
So right. So there you go. So make sure you log in with your Google. But let me check right now real quick, Christine.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell now we have almost 7,000 users, so it's a lot.
Wow.
It's amazing.
So if you're 7,000 because it includes the students, right?
Correct. Yes.
Mm.
That's why we got so many.
Are you saying I'm in the bottom half?
Well, look at this. There's so many Christines here. You know, let me see. Let me put the P in there.
Oh, yeah. But no Pomerantz.
Yeah, what's going on here? Uh-oh. I think, yeah, look at that. I don't see you here. That's not good.
Yeah.
Let me add you right now.
Excellent.
Select, I'll add you right this moment. So there you go.
One of the
Christine.
advantages of attending a small session, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you are. I'm going to create your account right now.
Yes. So well spelled too.
We don't need that one in there. I want you to have the real.
I prefer.
And let's make you a teacher. And and then you'll create your own password. This is just temporary. So let me just add you in. Oh wait, now it says user already created. So now it's telling me you're there. That is strange.
Or we can sort it out later.
All right. Yeah, but Chris, that is interesting. Let me check. Let me check Ted.
Mm-hmm.
It should be okay, Jose. I just want to be sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
you
You
are.
got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Except one thing. I don't know this, but this is John Smith. That's not me.
You're there as a student and a teacher.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove the
No,
student.
but that's
Yeah, let me
that
remove.
goes to town. That's I don't know who did that.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that one because we don't need a duplicate.
No imposters, please.
Otherwise, you'll have to keep on looking for your files. Delete.
All right, delete.
My secret
You know
spot.
what? And there you are. It has a 1 in front of your name. Is that okay, right? That's fine.
Be there. It shouldn't be there. There's only one. There's only one. That's me.
Okay, so this is fine. It looks like you're okay. Good. I don't know why.
But is it, Jose? Is that the second one there? Is that my username? Is that Theodore Folky 1? Is using my username, or do I worry about that?
Well, this is your username. If you want, I could change it and take away the 1.
Take away the one, please. Because I mean, that'll just confuse me. I get so easily confused.
Okay, there you go.
Yay!
All right, there.
Order.
So now you would just ignore folk at right. So that's your username.
That's everything correct. Yes.
Perfect. And Christina, I'm not sure what happened here because I'm spelling
Remember,
it right.
there's always a problem with my account. Any program, right? Remember?
Yeah, remember you were telling me with the email.
Yeah.
So strange.
Okay.
What if I do Pomerantz? Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do Pomerantz without the T. Yeah.
Doesn't even show up. All right, I'm gonna have to troubleshoot this.
Okay.
That is so weird.
Okay.
All right, I'll play with that. I'll play with that after we're done. I will stay extra after the workshop if anybody needs to stay for.
Well, the only
extra
thing
help.
is I'm physically at home and I need to be physically at FIT at 3 o'clock.
Okay. So I'll speed up.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
speed up.
I was
Sorry about
hoping to be at FIT by now, but I got so many phone calls, so.
I know, yes.
Yeah.
So let me speed up. So basically, once you're logged in, this is the landing page of Padlet, and this is what it will look like. Real quick, just to show you the interface. Up here, actually, let me start from the left. On the left-hand side, you have 4 buttons on the left. You have the pink button that says Make a Padlet. This is the most important one, or the button you'll be using mostly is this button right here to make a Padlet. Join a Padlet is if you want to include somebody as a co-author, right? You can join someone's Padlet or have someone join yours. Gallery is just to look at these other Padlets that you can look at for inspiration. And I don't think you guys have access to manage people, so you can disregard this here.
I don't even have access to gallery. I only have the 2.
Oh, you only have make a Padlet and join a Padlet?
Yeah, maybe the gallery comes up once I start putting things in.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. Not sure why, but I can figure that out.
Okay.
And then this is also important right here. When you log into Padlet and seeing things that don't belong to you on the screen, most likely is because you have recents checked on here. And there's a lot of professors at FIT who are not using Padlet correctly, and they are changing the privacy settings so that everybody can see it. Like for example, I can see some names here of people that might have it have the privacy to organization wide so that everybody can see it. So if you see something like that, don't be alarmed. It's just because every time I catch somebody, I always privately send them an email. Saying, hey, you're sharing your student information with the whole FIT community. You know, just
Yeah.
you don't want to. That's a FERPA violation.
Yeah.
So that's you
Wow.
have to be careful with that. But if you're only interested in Padlets that you have created, make sure you click on Made,
Okay.
and that will only show yours.
Okay.
All right. Any questions so far? Everything okay?
It's great.
So this is
Very
basic
clear.
setup. And we're going through the basic setup. So just click on made and don't touch recent, right?
Right.
Yes.
Made will only show Padlets that you have created. Like for example, these are all mine. These are all Padlets that I created. And so if you see Padlets that belong to somebody else, it's most likely because you're here on recent.
Right.
And don't be
So
alarmed.
Jose, I didn't
Uh-huh.
make anything, but when I look at Made, it says my portfolio and it has my name and it says 7 minutes ago. I
Right,
didn't do anything.
right, right. Because that Padlet belongs to you under Made, and so that's why you only see your Padlets.
But I didn't make it.
Oh, you didn't make it?
No,
Oh,
it automatically made it.
oh
Which
wow. Okay, so
I don't want to delete because I like it.
I'm gonna I- I'm gonna I'm gonna really have to look at your account to see what's going
Okay.
on with your something funny is happening there. So I will
Okay.
I, I I will take a closer look as soon as we're done with this workshop.
I think my late husband is playing tricks on me.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, another thing that's important that you can do and is, as you can see here, I have folders that I created that help you organize your
Hmm.
Padlet. So
Hmm.
right at the bottom, there's a button there that says New Folder. And if you're looking to organize your Padlets into, let's say, into courses that you own to make things much more easier and much more organized for you to find, I recommend click New Folder. And when you click on New Folder, it allows you to name the folder, and you can call it you can give it a name, whatever you want to call it, and then you can drag your Padlets into folders, so it's easier for you to organize yourself.
Great.
So that's just a tip. If you're interested in that, if you're not interested, just disregard what I said. But if you're into organizing your Padlets, then folders is the best way to go. All right. Uh, Another way to search for Padlets, you can go here on the top right corner, the magnifying glass, and you can type in, let's say, for example, Icebreaker. And then you can search Padlets that way, and it'll give you, any Padlet that you created with the word Icebreaker. So that's another way that you can search for Padlets. If you have a lot, like I do, I have like 100 Padlets, and so that
Wow.
you don't become overwhelmed, you can use the search tool. But I prefer the folder structure better. You see, I have folders here, and I put them in folders. I organize myself. You see, like that. Like like here, I put my master templates. Here, I have my day 2 training. Like that's the course I teach on online training. But I keep myself organized that way. All right. So let's make our first Padlet. If everyone's okay, we can make our first Padlet.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So I'm going to click on that pink button there in the top left. It says Make a Padlet. And now here they show you the 7 different templates. There used to be 8 templates, but they just removed one about a few months, maybe 2 months ago. They got rid of the 8th one. It wasn't being used, so they just removed it. The The second workshop that we're going to do, this one right here, number 2, Padlet templates and assignments. In the second workshop, I'm going to cover more templates. So I'm not going to go into detail right now on each of these templates, because on the second workshop that we're going to do, we're really going to do a deep dive on each one of these. And I'm going to show you an example Padlet for each one of these. I'm going to go through different examples to give you ideas of what each one of these can do for you. They're all different. So I'm not going to cover that too much right now, because that could itself take a whole workshop. It's like what the wall can do, what the stream can do, the grid or the shelf. So I'm not really going to go into each one right now. That's going to be for part 2. So for now, I'm just going to choose the wall, because that's usually what people usually pick right away. It's the most basic one. So I'm going to choose the wall for now and click select. And right away, it opens up with the settings. So now I have to give my Padlet a title, right? And they usually pre-fill it for you with like funny stuff, like my sumptuous Padlet.
My perfect Padlet.
My perfect Padlet, right?
Yeah.
Right. And this right here, made with a lightning strike of genius. You know, they fill it up with stuff for you. But I highly recommend that you give it a good title. I recommend that you put, let's say I'm teaching a history course, I like to put, let's say, HA 112. Let's say I call this an icebreaker. I like to put also the semester. So if I say fall 21, something like that. You know, so this will make your life easier, because after a while, after you made so many Padlets, you're looking for an icebreaker, and now you search for icebreaker, and now you're getting like 5 different names, 5 different Padlets with the same name, and you don't know which one is from the spring semester, fall semester. So this is just to save you the headache of keeping yourself organized and keeping yourself sane.
Great advice.
Oh, created by? So here now in description, I'm going to put like, let's say this, so this is my icebreaker. I'm going to ask my students to post a photo, or they like to say selfie. Post a selfie. And oops, I spelled selfie wrong. Look at that. I think it's a Y.
Yeah, F, I think.
Elf. Oh God. There you go. There.
E, I think. F-I-E. F-I-E.
F-I-E. Oops, sorry. There we go. Oh my gosh. that tells me I need to.
Remember Dan Quayle when he tried to correct the student spelling either potato or tomato?
Oh my
He made it
God.
worse. Yeah. I was afraid of that. I was afraid of being Dan Quayle. Yeah.
But thank you. I mean, hopefully you have great students in the class that will like
They're
spot
fabulous.
you, and support you while you're like scrambling and nervous, like, oh my gosh. Maybe like post a selfie and tell us a little about yourself, or some, a little icebreaker, very low stakes about yourself, right? So that could be an icebreaker, right? It's a great exercise to get their feet wet for first time using Padlet. This will be a very low stakes exercise for your students to get used to Padlet. The next thing, you can skip these next items. The icon, that's optional if you don't want to create an icon. The icon basically goes up here in the top left corner. So if you want to do, or you can even find something like ice, like an icebreaker, right? You can type in ice. Or if you find something here, like an icebreaker, this one, this makes more sense.
Mm.
It makes it a little bit cute,
Mm-hmm.
So
Can
that's
we
what the
select photos? Can we select photos? Or
um
like
yes,
outside the selfie, outside the smiley? Add
yes,
your own.
right
Okay.
there,
You're
right.
the best.
You can,
Okay.
yeah, that's a great question.
Okay.
You can upload your
Okay.
own, or you can
Very good.
take your own photo, or you can even draw it if you want to draw.
Excellent.
Yeah, these Padlet people have thought of everything.
Yeah.
Now, which is really important, is the wallpaper, right? We're all are
Mm.
FIT people, so we care about color, we care about
Mm-hmm.
aesthetics and everything. So we can go into the wallpaper here. You can choose solid colors,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose gradients,
Mm-hmm.
you can choose textures and patterns. There's so much to choose from, and you can add
Mm.
your own. Right? You can upload your own images. You can go on
Mm-hmm.
Google, you can search some backgrounds and then upload it, and that can do the trick too. So
Nice.
feel free to make it your own. You can
So,
also choose.
is this only on the computer or also on the phone?
Oh, great question, Christine.
Mm.
Because your students, I would say about 80 to 85% of your students are going to be doing this from their phones.
Correct. And my pictures are in my phone.
And so you can use it from your phone, yes. And you can I recommend that you download the Padlet app to your phone and log in with your
Ah,
with your FIT. That is going to be the best. If you're into that,
I,
if you're into it to doing it from your phone, yeah,
yes.
go ahead and do it from there. You can do it.
So that's a free download, right? That's
Mhm.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
a free download. Yeah.
yeah. Ted, are you
I,
using your phone, Ted?
Ted, are you using your phone for Padlet?
I'm sorry, Christine, did you ask me a question?
Yes. Are you using your phone to create the tablet or to use it?
I'm using my laptop.
Your laptop.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
I know I only use my phone. So.
Yeah, you can use anything. You can use an iPad. You can use a
Yeah.
tablet or anything.
Yeah.
A Padlet will work on almost anything,
Yeah.
it should work without any issues. But if you can encounter any problem, just let me know, and I will. We can always
Mm-hmm.
create a team with Padlet.
Yeah.
Um, this is the next option is color scheme. You can switch from a dark scheme or a lighter scheme, and you will
Yeah.
only
Nice.
notice you'll only notice when the posts are coming in. You won't see it right away, and I'll show you that in a second. Then you have 4 fonts to choose from. You'll see right away how it changes when I click on it on the top left corner.
I see.
So
What
they
the
give you
standard
four.
is the first?
Yeah, I like the first one
Yeah, me too.
because it's like thicker
Yeah.
and it's clearer. So that's the default right away. Christine is the first one,
Mm,
the one you
love it.
chose. Then we get to the posting section. This part is really important because attribution allows you to know the author's name. So if you want to turn that on, you have to make sure you turn the switch to on. And this will allow you to tell the student's name will automatically appear on their post.
Yeah. Isn't that the
It,
default or
it,
no?
sh- it should be default, but it's not.
Ah,
See?
ah,
You have
yeah.
to turn on.
Yes.
Now, if you get students posts that say anonymous, most likely is that your students are not logged in to Padlet on their phone, and they're accessing the Padlet on
Mm,
their phone, but they're not logged in, and then you're gonna get anonymous. If that
mhm.
happens, you can tell two things. You can say two things to your students. You can tell them to make sure that they're logged in, or if they don't know how to log in, just tell them to post their name on the actual post. To type in their
Okay.
name on the actual post.
Okay.
That's very common to happen. on students who are using Padlet for the first time. They don't realize they're not logged in. New post position. Basically, what this means is that the students who post first will show up first, or if you want those who posted last to show up first. This is similar to accounting,
Very
right?
good.
FIFO or LIFO.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, so the same idea, right? Last in, first
yeah.
out,
First,
first in, wait, yeah, LIFO, FIFO. First in, first
yeah,
out.
first in, first
Yeah,
out.
I still remember.
Still
um,
relevant. Yeah,
still relevant, right?
yeah, absolutely.
If you want the students to comment on each other's work, make sure to turn this on. This is also turned off by default.
X, okay.
So that's very important. Right?
Yeah,
So make sure you turn it on. If you want
yeah.
them to discuss, then you make sure to turn it on.
The only thing with this, Jose, is Blackboard doesn't track, right, their usage. So I can't really, I mean, I would have to manually grade the students' number of participations.
Oh, oh, I see. I have a way and
Oh,
to do more tracking that
excellent,
will help. Yeah,
excellent.
and,
Mhm.
and I think that we'll cover that probably number 2 and number 3. That's a little bit more
Okay,
advanced feature. But
okay,
yes, I know what you're saying.
okay.
And you're right. It's hard to track, especially if you're using a grid or if you're using the grid template.
Wallpaper.
And
Yeah,
yes, because they're all scattered everywhere now. You
right,
gotta go find Tom, go find Johnny, go find Maria.
right.
It's a nightmare.
And if you have
Uh,
19 students, it's
it's a
pretty tough.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you when we get to number 2 and 3. A
Okay.
better way to track a student's work.
Are you saying
Um,
that's the cliffhanger?
well,
It's a
I got
serial, right? Yeah.
I got I, I got to get people coming back.
Yes, yes. You don't need to. You yourself is an attraction, but
Great, great, Christine.
I'm
Thank
glad
you.
there's still, that added value. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Uh, reactions is sometimes not used. Basically, reactions is similar to social media like Facebook and Instagram, where the student can actually like a post or upvote or downvote the post or give it a star or grading. But
Mhm.
grading, we're not going to get into because grading is a little bit more advanced in Padlet.
Mhm.
And because grading
Yeah.
will only matter when you get to individual assignments, which is a more an advanced feature. So we
Well, what
won't
I
talk about
like about this is it's all positive. Like you don't have to control a negative.
right.
Yeah. So I think
Right.
that's great.
Well, that's a good point, Christine, because
Yeah.
that's how social media really
Hmm.
leverages this
Yeah.
kind of tool is because they have a and a like button in there.
Right. And I know that, the younger generation, a lot of them talk to me in the negative. Like, I don't like this. I don't like that. So
Right.
I usually ask them, okay, so what do you like? So,
Right.
to get to the stage where it's positive. This one, it's automatically positive.
I love that you bring that up because I do the same with my kids. If I ask my
Hmm.
kids, "How was your day?" they won't say anything. But if I say,
Hmm.
"What was your favorite thing that you did today?"
Hmm.
right away they'll. So it's the way you phrase it, right? If it's more positive,
Right.
yeah. So
Right.
that's a good point.
Hmm.
So this is optional. Again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. Um, require approval. It's
Mm.
this is interesting because what this does is that when your students create a post, the post doesn't get published until you release it.
Mm.
So I'll give you an example. Let's say if I give you let's say I'm doing a math course and I give you a math problem, and I don't want the other students to copy from each other, and so I turn this on, require approval, and so by
Mm.
requiring approval means that is Christine posts her answer. I cannot see it as another student. I can't see it until the professor releases it. And
That's
so that
correct. Very good.
eliminates copying, right?
Yes. I do have students who copy bad answers.
Well, well, that's usually the problem. They'll copy the bad answer just to get,
Yeah. And then
you
it
know,
snowballs. Yeah.
in the snowball, right? And everybody's
Yeah.
copying. So if you're doing a Padlet where you're trying to assess the students and you don't want them to copy from each other, then this is what you
Mhm.
need to turn on.
Mm.
Now, if it's a discussion and you want them to read from each other, then you don't really need this. But more of assessments type, or you have to turn this on so that they don't copy each
Mhm.
other. Filter profanity. That's up to you how you feel about profanity. If you don't want the
Is it
students,
only in English? Because there's profanity in Spanish, profanity in
that's a
Philippine.
great point. That's a great question. I haven't tested it in Spanish. I'm gonna test it now. I'm gonna put a Spanish curse word in
Okay.
there, and then we'll see. I turn it on
Oopsie.
to test it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's really everything here. You don't have to really go here, map a domain. You don't really have to do that. So
Okay.
that's really the settings for you right away.
Very
And then
nice.
you come next, and then it says start posting. And so now, oh, actually, let's test the cursing in Spanish. Let's see if I know.
Oh, that's Philippine too.
That's
That's
a bad word,
Philippine.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
ongoing.
in Tagalog is a good thing, right? It's a good food,
Yeah. Well,
right?
no,
Is it good?
actually, it's like it's a curse word in Philippine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it carries over it's from Spanish
Yeah.
into the Philippines. I also know you got puto. Puto is the food, right?
Puto is great. So make sure you get your vowel correct.
I know. I don't want to say puto. But in
Yeah.
Spanish too, puto and puta. The
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I can't believe our workshop has gone to cursing now.
Yes.
So let's see if it publishes it. Oh yeah, it went through in Spanish, so it looks like it's only going to be in English,
It's only in
right?
English.
Right,
Okay.
because right.
Okay.
So there
So
you go.
that should be an added for them because eventually this is going to be international, right?
Right. So
Yeah.
I'll continue testing with more curse words later when they come up to me now.
Yeah, I know worse words in Spanish, so I
I
don't
know.
dare post it here. Yeah.
Oh wait, we're being recorded. I forgot. I gotta control myself.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Christine, so remember we decided to go with the dark theme. See how the dark looks. But
Mm-hmm.
if I
Yeah,
go
it's
back to the
harder to read.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But if I go back to the gear icon and I change my mind, I want the
Yes.
light theme. You see
Yeah.
how I
Much
changed it from
easier.
right. So let's keep it to the light theme.
Yeah.
So, so keep in mind, you can always come back to the settings and change them by going
Yes.
to here and going back and changing them from here.
You can do that in PowerPoint too, right? Like you can switch from dark mode to light mode, or is it just Padlet?
Yes. A lot of applications now, like Chrome, you can
Yeah,
even do it with Chrome and other
excellent.
applications now has that. Um,
Yeah.
you can also change the post, the color up here. You can make it like a purple or a
Yes.
red. This will
Nice.
work if you have a discussion and you say, those who are pro monopoly, those who are pro, or let's say capitalism, or those who are pro,
Mm.
so you can okay, go in red, make yours red. If you're pro capitalism, go with red. If you're pro this, make it green. So you can actually create discussions where the students are identifying their position in the argument by color.
Excellent.
That's another idea for you. And so
Yeah.
pedagogic thinking, like if you're designing in your assignment, you can always think of different ways to design your assignment.
Yeah. So If I
Mhm.
say, should China revalue its currency, blue for no and green or red for no and green for yes, or something like that.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Very
that
good.
makes it easier. That makes it easier to separate those, the pro and those who are against.
Mm-hmm. I love
Another
it.
thing, another thing you can do, Christine, is you can actually get a background that matches the debate. So you can go here and say, you
Mm.
can go to Google and say a versus background. Look at that.
Wow.
And now I have this, this creates a more of a fun environment. Now, anybody who posts pro are on this side,
Mm.
those who are against will go on this. So now I can download this image, I can save it. See, I just saved the image, and then I go back into Padlet. Where am I? Here. And if I change the background, I'll show you how to change the background. Back where
So
we
Ted,
were
do you
here.
use the colors?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking Ted if he uses the colors.
Oh, Ted, if you use colors?
Oh, sure. Sure.
And it works well.
I mean, I'm teaching a film course, so I make it as visual as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wonderful.
yeah, no, I mean, Jose helped me out set it up the other day, a couple of years ago, a year ago, a year ago.
Wonderful.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it works. It almost teaches itself. It's really, really, it's very elegant. I love it. Um,
So, so, so pedagogically speaking, you can actually download an image so that it helps your assignment, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like here I did versus, so now, now I can have those who are against two groups that are going debating against each other, and then that, so you can create the theme based on what your vision of the assignment
Mm-hmm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me. So this is a pattern that we created. Oh, by the way, you can always change the format. Remember in the beginning, I said to you, you have to pick a template,
Mm.
and if you change your mind, you can always click on the three little dots on the top right corner, and
Even
then
if
change.
they're already entries.
Yes, even though they're reentry, but I highly recommend not to change after begun because
Yeah.
it can complicate things. You don't want to change the last minute. You want to make sure
Okay.
that you have your assignment. And we're going to talk more about this in number two, in the workshop number two,
Okay.
because that is really the trick about Padlet is
Mm.
having your vision ready before even touching the Padlet.
Yeah.
Uh,
yeah, I'm going to comment on that. When you do that, when you change the format, everything ends up in the wrong place. And
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
something
Learn the
hard to
hard
find.
way. Yeah.
Right. Right. So you see, I changed.
That way down in the bottom, and you have to look for them. You wonder, where did that one go? And then you find it like
Yeah, yeah, it can make things more complicated if you.
Right.
So
It's a
that's
good
how you can
habit.
change the format. So there's a lot of flexibility with Padlet, which I love, but also it can cause problems if you have to come in well prepared with an idea, a vision, and then you got to
So what if the
execute.
student makes a mistake and says, "Oops, I really wanted to post in the yellow side, not in the red side."
Oh yeah, yeah. So they can change. They can easily go back and edit themselves. Up the three little dots on the top right corner, and
Okay.
they can
What if I want
change.
to control that? Because they'll say, "Oh, I posted it there," and then, they probably change it from the original.
Yes, that's something that can happen. They can change. They can change their. They're free to edit the post. Um, Now, what's interesting is that a lot of faculty are using Padlet now in their face-to-face classroom in real time. So what I'm
Hmm.
seeing now a lot is faculty are bringing in their students, in the classroom, they bring their laptops, and in real time, they start off with a question or discussion to start the day in the class, and the students in the
Yes.
classroom are typing in their responses on the laptop, and which is in real time, and they can change it. They can change their answers. Um,
Mm.
but it also can happen. It can happen in asynchronous. If you're teaching an online course, it can also happen there. So it's hard to track the
Okay.
students' answers
The other,
as they change.
yeah. The other question I have is, on Blackboard, when I subscribe to a discussion, it alerts me by email. Is
Yes,
there a notification for this one?
yes, there is. There is a notification, and the the app on your phone, and you got
Mm-hmm.
notifications on, it
Mm-hmm.
will notify you every time a student posts or
Uh-huh.
does. You can change notification settings to make it whatever you want to whatever it is that you want to be notified.
Does it send it by email so that I can privately comment to the student or not?
Not yet.
You know how Blackboard, it sends an email, so I send a private message to the student to comment on their posting.
Oh, I caught the second half. Sorry, because I had somebody at the door knocking. But you said
Oh,
like on
sorry.
voice when they
No, in Blackboard,
uh
when a student posts in a discussion, it alerts me by email so that if I have something to say privately to the student, I can
oh
email that student, with the precise words that the student wrote.
yes, yes. So the same applies here in VoiceThread. Sorry,
Mm,
in Padlet.
got it.
Um,
Yeah,
right. You will get notified if you
by
choose
email.
to um, email. I'm not sure because the way I've been using it is I've been using the I installed the Padlet extension onto my Chrome,
Mhm.
and then whenever one of my students in my online training course adds a comment, it automatically pops up on my screen right here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get notified. I'm gonna find out about email notification. I haven't done that.
Yes,
I'll check that
that
for you.
would be great.
Let me write that down because I
Yeah,
haven't.
because then it gives me a written record that I communicated to the student.
Right. Also,
What
it has a
facts
timestamp.
they got right and what facts they can be addressed.
That's a great question. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Because also then you get a timestamp, right, as to when they
Right.
did and the date. So that's a good point.
Hmm.
All right. All right. I'll find out for you, and I will
Thank you.
follow up. So now that we have our Padlet, how do I bring this Padlet over to my Blackboard course? So that's the next piece we're going to cover real
Share.
quick. Yes, exactly. So, but
Mhm.
before we do this part, I want to show you. I want to go into my Blackboard course, and I want to find where in my course I have to be. Where in my course do I want that Padlet to go in, right? So that's the first thing you have to do. So if I go into my content area, let's say I want to put it inside week one. Make sure you click on week one, and let's say I want to put it in unit one folder. And you can see I already have it in there because I was testing it. But so I want to add my icebreaker, the one that we just created, and I want to put it inside here, inside unit one. So like Christine just said, you go to share, and then once you're in the share, you want to make sure. Remember we talked about privacy settings? Always make sure that your Padlet is set to secret and visitors can write. Remember we talked about how if you go to when you open up Padlet, it says recent, and you can see other professors' Padlets. It's because they changed this and they made this organization wide. So make sure this is always, always secret and visitors can write. It's already set there by default. So if you change it, then you're going to be messing it up. So just keep it the way it is, secret and visitors can write. Don't touch it. All right. And so the next thing we want to do is add to your LMS, right? That's what we want to. We want to add this Padlet to our Blackboard. So you click on this, add to your LMS, and right away is asking you a question. And now this is more advanced. We're going to cover this in number 2 and number 3 workshop. You know, so we're going to keep it. Everyone works on this Padlet. So it's like a discussion. Every student will work on the same Padlet. We're not going to change it for now. Okay. We're going to copy the URL. So we click on the pink copy button right here. And then you're going to go back into the Blackboard course. You're going to click on Build Content, choose Web Link, and I'm going to call this Icebreaker. You're going to paste that link that we copied right here. And there's your link. The next step is you're going to click on this link is a tool provider. And then you got to provide the next 3 items here, which are all right here. Right? So the first item is the key. The key is right here, which is FIT online. This never changes, it's always the same. So FIT online goes there. The secret can be found right here. This always stays the same, it doesn't change. So we copy the secret, paste it there. And then the last thing we need to do is the custom parameters. And that's the last thing at the bottom right here. So we copy that and paste that right here. And that's pretty much it. Now you have to decide, are you grading this, yes or no? Are you going to give a grade? If you are going to grade it, it's going to create a column in the gradebook. If you're not grading it, just choose no. And then you click submit. And now the Padlet is there in your course. So if I click on it, it will open a new tab. It will take your students to the Padlet that we created. Any questions on how to add a Padlet to Blackboard?
No.
Yeah, please. Go ahead. Yeah, no, please. Jose, do you normally grade icebreakers?
Icebreaker, depends on the professor, right? How you feel about grading that. I leave it to the faculty to decide. I see it as a low stakes. I probably won't grade it. I would just say complete or incomplete, something like that. But it's very low stakes. I wouldn't grade it. But up to you. You decide on if you're.
It's sort of like, well, I mean, as the name indicates, it's an icebreaker. It's just to get the students started, and it's not directly involved with the course, but it's just a nice way to start the course, and it gets them activated. That's the most important thing, and it gets them used to Padlet, which is the most important thing.
Exactly.
Does that make sense to you?
Exactly. Exactly.
And have fun as far as I'm concerned. It's just
right. And it's very simple to add. It would just basically copy. You gotta share, add to your LMS, right? Then you're gonna copy the URL, the key, the secret, and the parameter. Those 3 items, 4 items, 1, 2, 3, 4 items, and just paste it in here. And that's really much it. Now, if you want to get fancy and you want the Padlet to show on the actual page, you can do that. It's an extra step. You just go back in and click edit. And what you do is you go to the Padlet and you click back, and then you go to where it says embed, right? Because you want the embed code, right? You want to embed this Padlet into your Blackboard course, and just copy this by clicking on the copy button. You come back here, and you find the two little brackets, the less than and greater than, the source code button right here. Click on that and just paste the embed code right here. Click save, and you click submit. And now, basically, the students can actually they can actually post directly on your course. They can click here and start posting right here. So you see how I did that?
Yeah.
So it's optional. If you want to embed your Padlet in your Blackboard course, you have to copy the embed code and paste it. But if you're happy with just the link works the same way, works fine too. It just opens in a new tab on the student's browser. So it's up to you which one you prefer, this way or just a link. Okay. Any questions on adding the Padlet to your Blackboard course? No? All right. And there's so that's basically it, right? Basically, these are the basics of creating a Padlet. Going to the settings, making sure the settings are all correct, then embedding it or inserting that Padlet into your Blackboard course. And now it's actually students can now access the Padlet directly from Blackboard. So that's pretty much it for the basic workshop. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions. I'll stay here for a little bit if anybody has questions, or you just want to chat with me about anything else. I'm happy to stay here and chat with you all. If not, if there aren't any questions, Ted.
I have one quick question, which we might want to do this next week. But if I have, you helped me set up this last year, and so I have, I think it's 14 or 15 units. What if I want to add a unit to those existing units? In other words, I have 14 or 15 Padlets. So what if I want to add, like, stick one in or replace one? If we could go with that next week, that would be great. I don't expect to do that now.
Oh, if you want to add a new Padlet to each week?
And in other words, no, it's just I've selected, I think, 14 films to look at. So what if I want to replace one of them with another film, a different film?
Oh, yes, that's a good point, right? So you can always edit the Padlet. You can always go back to it, right? So if I go back into the Padlet and I decide to change, let's say we're doing Rashomon, and and I want to switch it to if I want to switch it to another movie.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you can always edit. You can always come back here and edit by clicking on the. You can always come in here and click on the. Oh, let me go back and change it from here. So if I go back, right, if I go back into my Padlet. Oh, I'm already in here. So how many different windows open? Let me go back here. So here, this is the one. This is how it looks like. The newest Padlet is always at the top, and if I want to change the movie or the topic, I can click on it, and then from here, Oh, I'm not logged in. That's why. Let me log in myself. Let me log out and log in. But basically, you will click on the gear icon, and from the gear icon, then you can change the title or the movie. You can edit.
Right, I mean, it would just be changing the content, it wouldn't be changing the form, really.
Right, the content. Right. So yeah, you can always come back and change the content. That's not a problem.
Okay,
So that wouldn't be a problem.
okay. I have one other question, or just a comment. You know, I think I have 14 or 15 films, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but as I was trying to post links to the films through Padlet,
Yeah.
through Padlet, I got a new source for films called Internet Archive that I'd never
Yes.
seen before. And I think I was able to get original copies, well, criteria copies of every film with English subtitles for free.
Oh, I see. You can. I mean,
And that is very happy. I mean, and but I mean, I just, you know, it's something called Internet Archive, which again I've never seen before. And it has a Criterion collection, but I mean, I don't know